He said he was not in conflict on the 19th. He didn't say any other day. He specified the 19th twice, that he was not in conflict. Any other further time he could have been. I'm not sure what's really going on. We're going to find out when obviously the lawyers come and deal with it. It's going to be a lot of issues that's coming. But, you know, I mean...
Are you scared that this is just an issue that's never going to die?
I don't think so. I think more people being aware. We've got enough today. It was a good turnout, and we're making more people aware in the community. That's what the key factor is. Most people don't get involved in the community. And I wish they really wish they would, because it would make for a better community. But most people are too busy watching Honey Boo Boo and everything else.
I may be wrong in saying this, but I don't know if you were treated with, the protesters were treated with the respect they thought maybe they deserved the first time around, February 25th. Do you feel that you've earned a degree of respect from City Hall and Council now?
I don't see any different this time around.
Well, you still have your signs.
We still, I do have my signs. Well, my wife stood guard watching the signs with my 8-year-old because she didn't want to put that to issue and see it disappear again. I said to her, well, I don't think it's going to happen. They're
Is
not
that a minor victory?
It is, of a sort. I mean, it was very insulting for them to take the signs and lose it, and apparently it was lost in the mayor's office for, 5 days.
How do you feel about that?
It seems very incompetent to see it. It's right in your room and you don't know it's there, and yet obviously the media have been calling almost every day till that point in time when they delivered it to the police. So I think it almost seems, well, you're not very observant, and you're actually running the show for the city, and yet you can't see these posters right in your office.
Are you disappointed that Councillor Gardner or the council or the mayor itself did not apologize to you guys for their behavior and Sid's behavior?
Disappointed to an extent, yes. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, but disappointed to an extent. It could have resolved the whole issue that night if we would have just received our signs. I was really disappointed in the process of it all, in that my wife, when Jamie was hauled out, my wife shortly went out after asking for the signs. And 45 minutes later she says, do I have to call the police station to put a formal complaint to get my signs? And thus she had to. Meanwhile, there's 7 police officers. Jamie was being really ruckus, you know.
What did you tell your 8-year-old son who was present that night?
I found it, I mean, he didn't quite understand what was really going on, and he learned that bullying isn't just in the schoolyard. And I explained to him after, not all people like this. It's unfortunate for them to behave like this. Obviously something other than something else is on this man's mind to act like this. And I explained to him that, like, people have other stressors in life that people have to react like this. And I think it was a bad thing to do and a bad thing for an 8-year-old to learn. Like, I will never advocate bullying. In my profession, you have to treat everybody equally. And rightfully so, and I'm proud of doing it.
How do you feel, or how do you rate the city in terms of its regard for the law and the rules and the Municipal Act and the whistleblower?
The whistleblower.
Because Leslie O'Shaughnessy had a lot to say with that.
And I thank Leslie for speaking up. It's an issue that it just reaffirmed why we protested, why other people are even questioning what's really going on with the community. It just reaffirmed it from what Leslie said. I'm still deeply disturbed about the Diane Shea affair because, you know, these are elderly. These are people that are, unfortunately, when they're elderly, they need the people to take care of them. And they're almost as fragile as a baby, and yet they get abused and they hide it. That's really disgusting me about City Council.
How do you feel that Diane Shea is one of the other victims in this?
That's not a surprise, because often they have whistleblower legislation, but we all know there's all kinds of whistleblowers out there that get in trouble. Look at this Mr. Schwartz, is it? With the federal government, who was stating that the laws in the Justice Department, he couldn't speak up. In the Justice Department, because of the if it had a conflict with the Constitution. So he was told that he couldn't speak up, and he's a lawyer, and he knows his rights, and yet he had to follow what his bosses said. So, and we have whistleblowing laws to protect them, but yet it gets readily violated even by the government.
Well, not only that, the municipalities, in this case the city and the mayor, have access to the most powerful lawyers in Ontario and the country at the taxpayers' expense, where the whistleblowers have to foot bills themselves and many times get threatened at having to pay the legal bills of the others of the mayor or the municipalities as a threat to not pursue justice.
In her profession, she is supposed to be accountable. The first thing we are is accountable to that patient. Number one thing. We are there for that patient, and what she did was right to speak up. Number one. Number two, if she wouldn't have spoke up, she could have lost her license. And it's number three. And there's another thing is that it's human nature for nurses to be compassionate, and to something as scary as elderly abuse. She had to be accountable as a human being to speak up as well.
So today's protest, you had more people here. Does it give you hope? Is there going to be another protest?
That might be. That depends on what's going on down the road. I would like to. I don't have a problem protesting and making people aware of what's happening. When I see an issue, and I'll make a point of coming to more of these city council meetings.
We had a bunch of young people here today.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I wish more young people get involved.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, we live in a society where apathy is incredible, and people don't get involved in the community. And as much as people can call me a shift disturber, you name it, but I want to make sure there's accountability with the actions.
Yeah, I challenged one of these armchair anarchists, say this 19-year-old kid, and he said he was going to come down and punch me out rather than come down and protest. So it's just funny. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, Chris.